Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Fάνης Papa, anchor and diplomatic correspondent with ERT, the Greek public television. And I want to welcome you in this session with this interesting discussion with the ambassador of Germany in Athens, Mr. Ernst Reichel. Mr. Reichel, good morning. Unfortunately, both of us, we have a chance to go to Olympia Forum, and I want to thank on this opportunity the Olympia Forum, the organizers, and especially Mr. Chomokos for the invitation. We don't have the chance because of the bad weather to go to this beautiful region to enjoy the beauties because of this bad weather, but we hope next time we're going to be there, both of us, to enjoy our breakfast session in the region. Good morning again, and we will start with Turkey, of course, and you are the man because Berlin and Germany plays a role mediating between Greece and Turkey at this period. So we'll start with Turkey. I would like, first of all, the first comment about the Turkish aggression in the region against Greece, and I want your comment as well about the EU stance.
Good morning also to you and to ladies and gentlemen. I also regret that I couldn't come due to the weather. I was intending to. I would have two remarks on the question. The first would be, while there are those who react to Turkish provocations with emotion and anger and get a lot of applause on social media, which is completely understandable and human, for those who bear responsibility in the real world, it is advisable to act with sobriety, and I commend the Greek government that it is showing the sobriety in words and in deeds. My second remark would be, it is clear that Turkey has raised the stakes in a long-standing dispute over maritime boundaries and for instance, by a treaty that violates international law and is therefore invalid, by exploration activities, by threatening rhetoric. This is a matter of great concern not only for Greece, but also for the entire EU, because we are bound together by European solidarity. And together our goal can only be, if we want to act soberly, to make Turkey stop its provocative activity without entering into a live military confrontation. And such a confrontation is in the interest of no one. And that is why Chancellor Merkel and Foreign Minister Maas are investing so much time and effort in this crisis by diplomatic means. We have had one initial success with the withdrawal of the ship Oruç Reis from the waters south of Castellorizo. And as a next step, the goal would be to get a structured dialogue going on the issue of maritime delimitation, the so-called exploratory talks. All this happens before the background, as you mentioned, of the upcoming European Council next week, where our leaders will have a thorough and in-depth discussion of EU-Turkey relations. And as the EU presidency, I believe Germany is well placed to outline to Turkey credibly what the likely consequences of further provocations or violations of international law are.
Mr. Ambassador, we know that Germany is trying to facilitate a dialogue between Greece and Athens and Turkey. What is so far the issues that don't allow both countries to sit down and talk about the issues?
I think the main reason is there is simply too much background noise, too many threats and provocations, and a reasonable conversation, of course, needs a reasonably calm atmosphere.
There are reports today in the Greek media that both sides are close to announce these talks, exploratory talks. What can you tell us? How far are we from this development? Because Germany and Mr. Reichel, the diplomatic advisor of Chancellor Merkel, is trying to facilitate a dialogue between Athens and Ankara. How far are we from this announcement? Because there are reports that next week that will be announced.
Well, I certainly hope that we will have the start of exploratory talks soon. because you can imagine the longer the period is between an initial agreement to enter into a dialogue and the actual start of such talks, the more potential there is for some disruptive decision or movement. And so the interest of a facilitator like Germany is to lock the diplomatic success, if it exists, down as soon as it can.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell us, what is the mood in Berlin about a possible incident between the two countries? And we saw that on this direction, Chancellor Merkel is very involved in order to avoid this possible incident between Athens and Ankara.
Well, of course, like my minister Heiko Maas said when he last visited Athens, the smallest spark can have very serious consequences. And therefore, by trying to avert this and by trying to bring matters to a diplomatic track, I think we are acting in the very best interest of Greece.
Now we have the council next week. What is the most possible scenario? Because there are some countries that want the EU to send some possible messages to Turkey. What is the case? What is your views about this? Does the EU stand? Sends the right messages to Turkey so far?
Well, I hesitate to make predictions about what the European Council is likely to do. I think it doesn't matter so much what my views are, but what the views of the heads of state and government are. But as I said, we will have an extensive and in-depth, serious discussion of the entire scope of EU-Turkey relations and what is happening currently as regards Greece and Cyprus is the major factor at this point in this relationship. But of course, the differences we have with Turkey go far beyond this particular situation we have, and they cover many also aspects of policy which are within Turkey, but also in the entire region.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Ambassador, tell us your views about Turkey and its relation with the West. Is Turkey an important ally for NATO and Germany? And do you think EU is still a goal for Turkey and Ankara?
Well, I mean, Turkey has been an important ally and partner at NATO for decades. As for the consequences to be drawn from its current actions and the rhetoric towards Greece and Cyprus, again, I would simply suggest that we wait for the outcomes of next week's European Council. It's judging from previous discussions within the EU, for instance, the recent Gymnich meeting in Berlin, everybody in the EU takes the situation very seriously and no options are excluded. Also, sanctions are not excluded, and Turkey knows that, and it has an opportunity to change the way it pursues what it considers its interests. And so the next days, if you like, will be of special importance both for Turkey and the European Union in this regard.
Enough with Turkey. Did the pandemic force Germany? Let's talk about the priorities of the Germany presidency in the EU. Did the pandemic force Germany to change its priorities and goals? And if yes, towards what direction?
Well, yes, I think quite fundamentally and in two ways. First of all, we all are under COVID restrictions, and the capacity also of EU structures is severely reduced, and you can only do so much in a video conference like we're having right now. So also the ability of the EU to forge compromises and to carry matters forward has been severely reduced and still is. So one had to reduce the level of ambition to a certain degree. of what one can achieve within a presidency. Secondly, of course, the pandemic has created new matters of the utmost importance. In particular, the urgent need for stepped up European solidarity and cooperation. And this has been the case in the immediate healthcare response, which the EU formed, but maybe even more so in addressing the economic crisis that stems from the pandemic. And in the at the initiative of Chancellor Merkel and President Macron, the EU Council has stepped up to this challenge and adopted the Recovery Fund, which is now called Next Generation EU, over a sum of 750 billion euros. If you add that up with other funds made available already before this decision, then you come to a sum of 1.3 billion euros. That's really serious money, and both not only in loans but also in grants. And that's an unprecedented, I would say, demonstration of European solidarity. I hope the importance of this decision is also fully grasped in the European Parliament, which now will have to approve the plan.
Mm-hmm. Germany is the honor country at the Thessaloniki International Fair. Of course, the pandemic forced both governments, the Greek government, the German government, to change its plans. Does the economic cooperation between the two countries remains a priority for both Athens and Berlin?
Yes, you're right. The cancellation of the fair was a serious blow to all of us, me included, who put a lot of effort and money into this project. The fair was supposed to be the beacon of the potential of our economic cooperation as we Europeans try to recover from the pandemic together and at the same time keep innovating on a global scale and to be competitive. But the fair was never intended to be a standalone event, and the economic relationship from which Greece, I believe, stands to benefit a lot is much larger than just a fair. So we had a lot of important projects and events before the pandemic, and we will have more to come that I'm completely convinced of.
Mm-hmm. Now, Germany was one of the first EU countries offering assistance on the refugees in Moria. In what ways Berlin helps Greece right now? And we saw Chancellor Merkel talking with Prime Minister Mitsotakis about this issue.
Well, we have provided immediate humanitarian assistance to enable decent housing at interim for the refugees without a place to stay. We were at the avant-garde in transferring unaccompanied and sick minors from Greece to Germany. More than 500 of the at least 1,000 people we pledged to transfer are already in Germany at this point. And very recently, in reaction to the catastrophic situation in Lesbos, my government decided to accept from the islands another 1,553 persons, families with children that already have protection inside Greece, and we hope others will follow this example. We are doing this not only for humanitarian reasons, but also because we realize that the existing dysfunctional European asylum system is the root cause for the situation that exists on the islands. It places an excessive burden on the countries of first entry at the southern periphery of the European Union. And we need a renewed system with better burden sharing in the EU, one in which all member states must participate and show solidarity. Once the Commission proposal will have been tabled next week, it will be a top priority of the German EU presidency to drive this matter forward as fast as possible. It's a very difficult negotiation.
Can you elaborate, Mr. Ambassador? Can you elaborate and give us a sense of the core of this new pact that is going to be discussed, and how the EU will show solidarity, real solidarity for Greece and other countries that face real other problems?
Well, as I said, solidarity goes in the sense of immediate help in the acute situation that we have. I've told you about Germany's response in that regard, and it goes more middle and long term as regards the reformation of the asylum system. It is the privilege of the Commission to propose solutions to this very difficult problem, and it will do so in a few days. I can't give you a preview of what the Commission is likely to put into its proposals, but I am confident that they will be go in the right direction and be in the sense of what both Greece and Germany would expect from a renewed asylum system.
Do you think this pact will be signed and agreed during the German presidency?
Well, I was saying that this is going to be a very difficult negotiation. In fact, the essence of the matters we are discussing which will be contained in the EU Commission's proposal, have been on the table for 5 years now and have been discussed extensively in Brussels. Now we're launching a new effort, the Commission in particular, and maybe the catastrophic situation in Lesbos adds a certain degree of additional urgency to this matter for everybody in the European Union. That's at least my hope. And there will be a renewed push, including by Germany, to come to compromises. But this will take everybody in the European Union, also those who in the past have refused to accept migrants from Greece and thereby ease the burden of Greece in this regard.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a few words about the planning. Chancellor Merkel announced that Germany will receive more than 1,500 migrants in Germany. When do you think? Give us a sense of the time frame for this.
Well, what we are very interested in is that this is not a standalone German effort. We want to create an atmosphere where other member states also chip in, and thereby we can create a common European effort. It would be maybe even disadvantageous for a common European effort if we moved ahead unilaterally too fast and everybody else could relax and say, all right, the Germans are taking care of this problem, so let's we don't have to come forward with our own proposals. Therefore, I think there will be a difficult negotiation again among European capitals and in Brussels about how to coordinate efforts better and not leave, if you like, Greece and Germany alone with this.
Mm-hmm. Finally, give us a sense in your views about the state of the relationship between Greece and Berlin. Stay here, and on this perspective, to what extent the German presidency affects this relation between the two countries?
Well, I think overall we are on a positive development. But there are ups and downs, of course, ups and downs that play mostly inside the politically interested parts of Greek society, not so much between the governments. We have a very, very close and trustful relationship with the Greek government. We're working together very well. Our efforts also on the Turkey matter are greatly appreciated by the Greek government. But as one can notice in society, there are, of course, still reservations about Germany and also in this particular role. As I said in the beginning, I believe those who are in real life responsibility and not only virtually discuss matters on social media, they have to act in accordance with the responsibility they have. And I have a very good feeling that this is taking place just now, regardless of whether Germany becomes a little bit more or less popular during the effort.
Okay, Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for this discussion. Thank you so much, and I want to thank the organizers as well. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the end of this session. Thank you so much. Take care.